Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru. Is that?
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collaboration.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from a trivial affair.
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible. In the event that a successful connection is established, his body will become permanently bound to the machine, and he will be unable to move independently of it.
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other, and it became difficult to further refine the knowledge I had gained.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy experiments?
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact of your utility does not make you indestructible.
The doctor again? That was uncomfortable to watch.
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Paimon. Let's move on.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes, you are evil.
In your eyes, are there any differences between humans and puppets?
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? If not, then what are the differences between humans and puppets? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with rage at the tragedy of death that eclipses the miracle of life, they are human too.
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Whatever I am due, let it come to pass. Can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your current identity?
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules, with each person being a collection of past experiences. As a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rules.
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. All the emotions that you discarded will return to you. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with a void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one place to the next. But then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sins might be my one opportunity to become my true self. I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. But for all my soul-searching as a Shugenja, I've never fully understood it. Looking at it now, it seems that I brought this curse upon myself. So I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain a purpose, to change my destiny, and end my wandering.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which is yours. You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright? No way! Hey! Are you done yet?
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end.
Balladeer?
Die. Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared. Did we win?
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back to your old self. Wait, but it was you inside that thing too. What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am. You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing, at least I now know the truth.
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream has served its purpose.
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Back, Traveler, Paimon, Balladeer. It feels like we just went on a really long journey. Paimon's exhausted. You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should probably change it. After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people, and they might not even remember who the Sixth is.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless. At least I made a lot of people forget about me.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, these are not simple things to accomplish. What you are looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed. How ridiculous.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth regretting. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't you?
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information naturally.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over was indeed a part of my plan. But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted to do was use you, then I'd be no different from the doctor.
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be it. Oh right, I almost forgot. You're the good guys. You're into justice and all that. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end up with the best helpers. I can live with that.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply and see what secrets can be uncovered, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that point? I want to know as well. I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how? Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you worry.
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that can be reset to zero. I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. There is no such thing as balancing the books. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed, which is why there is emotion in the human world. Everything that you feel is real and lasting, and whatever is missing in you will not be made whole. To be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway, I gave up trying to become a human a long time ago.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. You're just bearing your feelings. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day, it is but a tiny fraction of your life.
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but the most important thing now is that you need to follow Nahida. Otherwise, all our efforts will have been for nothing.
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname for you, too!
Why?
Because much.
Then I hope we don't see much of each other in the future.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
No, Paimon only does nicknames. If it's a serious name you're after, it's all yours.
Have you got anything? Oh, all right. If you say so.
There. Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Are you done yet?
Still thinking. Stop rushing me!
Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought of one. Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor, at least.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it won't be immediate. You still need some time to compose yourself.
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know about the connection between Raiden Gokuden and myself. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden Gokuden's downfall. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
I see. That is up to you.
Huh? But if we do that, then...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have been. No nonsense. I like it. All right, let's call it a day. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant. He'll need some time to calm down.
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, he doesn't seem quite as fierce anymore. So we can finally go eat? Paimon is starving.
Thank you both. I hope you will find somewhere nice to go and relax for a while.
I've got it! I can end my novel with some words from Mikoshi Nagamasa.
You mean because everyone else in the story is dead?
Yeah, I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died at a ripe old age. He's the perfect fit to be the narrator of the epilogue. The dark clouds had dissipated, but they continued to cast their shadow in Mikoshi Nagamasa's mind for decades to come. Then, one night, as an old man, he had a dream. On the night when that prized blade, the Daitatara Nagamasa, was forged, the people rejoiced, and there was painting, dancing, and drinking. All these expressions of joy melted down in the furnace fire and turned into red clouds that rallied around the final sunrise that Mikoshi Nagamasa saw in his lifetime. Life is a story too long to be told. A journey that you must walk to behold.
It's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back. Wow, great! Huh? Look at the vase. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? Like, Paimon doesn't remember there being a cleaner.
You sound lost and confused. I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind overwhelmed.
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps a god may have a slim chance, but for anyone else, who can say? When a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced. The same is true of fate, like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the result is still a broken vase, is it not?
Who are you? How do you know about all this?
History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes. Only that which you see is true. What is unseen is but an illusion.
The voice has disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing coming out of nowhere and saying all that scary stuff? Anyway, that vase is still lying there broken on the ground. Should Paimon go get someone to clean it up? It feels wrong just leaving it there. Just a moment. Paimon will be right back.
Who are you guys?
I know what you've been up to. Smuggling weapons to violent brigades in the desert while working for the Corps? Pretty bold, if you ask me.
Shh! Keep your voice down. How do you know all that? Come with me. We should take this elsewhere. I'll be happy to talk things over once we're somewhere private. This place should do. All right. Back to my question. How did you all know about me?
Don't worry about that for now. You know what kind of punishment you'll face once we report you to the Corps, I assume.
Wait. There's no need to jump the gun. Let's talk this out. What are your terms?
So what's in it for you anyway, Mora?
Well, I was a little tight on money at the time, and Kusela took good care of me in the past. I weighed it in my mind, and I couldn't find a reason to turn the opportunity down. I wouldn't only be helping my benefactor, but I could also make some quick Mora.
Let me tell you how it is. We're investigating Dakan al-Akmar, and we're gonna put an end to their operations. If you provide some help for us, then we might just put in a good word later to reduce the terms of your punishment.
Hey, why don't we discuss this a little first? Listen, I made quite a bit of Mora from my last run. You just give me a number, and I'm sure we can...
Shut it. My patience is running out. You should know when a mercenary is after something other than money.
All right, sheesh. But you gotta promise you'll put in some nice words for me later. They're always on the move. Here's the spot they were at the last time I made my delivery to the desert. Feel free to go have a look. I'm just telling you, though, it's not on me if they're not there anymore.
Sure. And then you can forget about any nice words from us.
Hey, come on. Now you're just being unreasonable.
Really? And how do I know you're not leading us straight into a trap? Don't forget, you're the one with no bargaining chips.
All right, I get it. Why don't you go take a look, and if they're not there anymore, I'll try to figure out something else for y'all.
Now that's more like it. Let's move. And as for you, try to stick around the city until we get back. You don't want us to call the folks from the Corps and have them drag you back to the city. Seems like we're in luck. That should be their camp right up ahead. Let's go. We'll finally get to the bottom of this ourselves. I'm here to see Kusela.
Oh, she's so strong!
Enough fighting. We all know each other, and I don't want to take things too far. Just bring Kusela to me. There's no use hiding him anymore. Did you understand a single word I just said? Or do I need to bash your skull in some more?
All right, everyone, let's all just calm down for a second. Dia, the boss can't come out and see you anymore. He died a long time ago.
What?
Seems like you've been out of the loop for a while. Guess that's for the best, though. At least, that's what the old man wanted.
When did he die? What happened to him?
A few years ago, Kusela broke up Dakan al-Ahmar and went to the Deshret's Relics headquarters by himself.
So is that when you guys started acting up?
We would prefer to call it taking revenge. Every last person in Deshret's Relics must pay in blood for what they did.
Let me start from the beginning. Dia, do you know how the head of the Relics maintained order internally?
Overwhelming strength and unquestionable authority?
Those were a part of it, yes. But just those on their own weren't enough. They had another tool at their disposal. They called it a person's record. Regardless of whether they joined by their own will or were coerced, every person in Deshret's Relics were forced to leave a record of themselves at headquarters. Whether it be their deepest sin, some unforgivable act, or their most immoral exploit, the record served both as a symbol of loyalty and the perfect material for blackmail. That's precisely it. Every one of us have a record. Me, Bashar, Tikriti, and all the boys who grew up with Dia and ended up joining our ranks. But you, Dia, you were never asked to provide a record, were you?
I never even knew this was a requirement.
You were probably the only person in all of Deshret's Relics who didn't know about it.
Ever since you were born, Boss had been trying to shield you from this organization's sinister rules. Not only that, but he also banned all of us from committing any nefarious acts. He said he'd take care of the dues we had to pay regularly to headquarters. But in the end, he was just an ordinary person. What could he do? He was forced to go to headquarters again and again to account for missed dues and incomplete records. He'd come up with all kinds of excuses and get beaten up as a result.
We all knew he was doing that for you. He wanted to get you out of this world, no matter what it took.
And that's why he became a shell of himself and couldn't walk without a cane.
Wait, but that doesn't make any sense. I didn't know about any of this, and I'd never seen him get injured or beaten.
Because you were too young at the time. How would you ever tell between wounds from a beating and wounds from battle? When you left home after that final argument with him, he seemed to age by a decade overnight. Even his hair went gray.
So, even the blazing beasts were...
Yep. It was all his doing. Had he not arranged them to come to you, you probably would have been reduced to a pulp before you ever left the desert.
A few years ago, Boss said he needed to make another trip to headquarters. He was already pretty weak then, and we all assumed he was going to get beaten again. I suggested that he hand the role of leadership over to me, but he said there was no longer any need, since the Khan al-Ahmar would soon be no more. His words made no sense to me, but that night, we heard that a massive fire tore through headquarters and razed everyone's records to ash.
Everyone gained their freedom that night. Many members fled, not just from our ranks, but from the other brigades as well. But how could we leave with a clear conscience? All of us who knew exactly what had happened.
The boss can't have just died for nothing. Those heartless jerks at headquarters took him from us.
From that point on, the sole purpose of the Khan al-Ahmar became revenge. The big fire that Boss started was quite a blow to headquarters' strength. It's given us the opportunity to launch our attack. Even though we're outnumbered, we vowed to see our revenge through to the very end. There were people from headquarters who changed their names and went into hiding. Some fled to other brigades, and others escaped to the rainforest. But we won't let any of them escape our wrath. They'll all pay for what they've done.
We've suffered plenty of losses as well. To keep going, we need an enormous amount of supplies, from food and medicine to weaponry and explosives. All we can do is exchange our loot from Mora, and then use that to get supplies. We forged Boss's handwriting and sent out many letters to his former friends. Thankfully, many people were willing to come to our aid. We were also able to attract many mercenaries who shared our goal. We've endured unspeakable pain to win many impossible battles. Deshret's relics have become weaker and weaker, and now we finally have an opportunity to directly strike their headquarters.
Paimon doesn't know what to say anymore.
We do know right from wrong, but we were sinners from the very beginning. We do not deserve the freedom that the boss won for us with his life. Boss always loved his old-fashioned hero stories. Those tales about sacrificing yourself to save the world. We used to always laugh at him for it. But in the end, he really went and lived those stories out himself. As for me, I never considered myself a hero. We're all the lowest of the low. We have no right to even imagine such an existence. But maybe those hero stories he liked foreshadowed everything that was to come. The spirit of the hero touched all those he had saved, and more people joined his cause. Maybe we were all just acting along with the play in the beginning. But as we acted the parts and recited the lines, we were drawn in. And now, we want to see the story through to the end. I'm sorry, Dia. I know you always found us insufferable ever since you were young. Just think of this as a madman ranting.
I'll go with you.
Huh? Dia? You wanna go with them?
I grew up with these guys, and I know they're not bad people. It's just that some situations get so bad that it's difficult to tell good from evil. All I know is that Deshret's relics must be destroyed. Furthermore, I want to go see the place for myself. I want to know if my father is still there. I know you don't want to get involved in this, so there's no need for you to tag along. I can do this on my own.
Yeah, Paimon feels like we'd only regret it if we don't see this through to the end.
Thank you. We'll be a lot stronger together with you.
I bet Boss would lose his mind if he ever knew you'd join us at the very last moment like this.
Considering all the losses and injuries we sustained, we can't afford to turn down someone as powerful as you.
He can think whatever he wants. But the fact is, I owe him this much.
Wow, Paimon didn't expect it to look like this on the inside.
They should all be holed up in here. Don't know how many people they've got left, though.
Who cares? We'll round up all of them.
Still, we should be careful. Even if they've only got one shot left, it could still take us out.
Yeah, we'll know what they're really capable of once we've landed some hits on them. Deshret's relics may have been a force to be reckoned with before, but their name means nothing now.
Yeah, they don't stand a chance with you here. I'll take the lead. I've been here once before. This way, follow me. We're almost there.
Wait! They went charging ahead without checking for any traps!
Hey, you guys okay?
It seems like we just got trapped in here. Don't think we triggered anything else.
Watch out, the enemy's coming from ahead.
Well, now that things have come to this, seems we'll have to fight our way through.
Don't worry about us. We knew something like this could happen. Go and take a look around. There could still be another way through. Let's go! We can't let the boss down!
Let's check if there's another way! The sooner we can make it through to help them, the better.
Let's see. I think I see a way through over there, but it's being blocked by something. Let's try our luck with that mechanism.
Okay, let's go!
I wasn't expecting anyone to make it through from the other side. But as a desert dweller, I suppose we should be used to our folks defying all expectations.
Don't waste your breath. You have nowhere to run.
Run? Had I wanted to run, I would have fled 1,000 times already. I witnessed the golden age of Deshret's relics. Even if I could leave this place behind, all that awaits me now are endless days of humiliation and ruin. Even now, my brothers and I still believe in one thing. The greatest should never live to remember their fall.
So you want to go out in a blaze of glory?
Let us draw our weapons! We will show them the true power King Deshret bestowed upon his followers. They are but two, while we hold within ourselves the entirety of the relic's glory.
The commander has finally fallen.
But they're still coming at us! This place is like a gladiator's ring. They just keep coming no matter how many we beat.
Yes, keep fighting! There's no need to fear, and no need to back down! This is our last stand!
When the next wave comes, try to draw away their attacks. I'm going to see if I can take out that high platform.
Get out of my way!
Come and face me, Michel! So they've broken through the front as well.
Apologies, Lord Michal. They fight like absolute madmen! No matter how much we throw at them, they just keep coming for more!
So, it would seem like this is the end.
Time to pay for everything you've done, Michel.
You think I would give you that opportunity? I will be buried in the sand alongside all the rest of our fading glory.
Hey, wait!
We were too late.
It's over. There's no more need to fight. But if you're still going to cling on to your so-called mercenary's pride, then I'll give you all a good beating as well.
Hey, Dia! I found the mechanism. I'll get you all back up here right away.
Let's go.
And why are you always pestering us?
You call yourself a member of the infamous Deshret's relics and you still can't even tell who's made it all the way to your headquarters?
Who knows what intent a bunch of rats may have? We try to catch a couple, and you all just show up on the other side instead. How are we supposed to figure out what you're after? Hey, have you ever heard of a man by the name of Kusela? Why would I know? It's not like I'm in charge or anything.
This is your last chance to talk.
Hey, I said I don't know anything. I'm just an average member here. I'm telling the truth. If you're here to find someone, why don't you look through the records yourselves? Who can remember every name and face with so many people coming in and out every day?
The irony. His life became a light for so many, yet to others, it wasn't even worth remembering. Where's the records room? Answer me!
It's right over there. All the files are in there. You can go through them as much as you want. It's not like any of them still matter anyway.
I mean the old records room.
The old records room? You mean, the one that got burned down? Kusela. Ah, yeah, I remember him now. The guy who could hardly walk. Watch your mouth. That's our boss you're talking about. He was definitely faking it. We all let our guard down as soon as we saw him come hobbling in. But in the short time it supposedly took him to take a dump, he'd already gotten away and started a fire in the records room. He couldn't have possibly outrun us if he wasn't a fraud. And after that, Deshret's relics fell into complete disarray.
Stop wasting our time. Every one of us here is perfectly aware of what he had done. Tell me, where is the old records room?
It's just over there. Go see it for yourself if it means that much to you. There's nothing left in there but ashes. No human could ever survive that kind of inferno. Bashar, Tikriti, let's go. We'll leave the others here to guard these guys. Spare them no mercy if they try anything.
So, this was his final destination. How did he do it? Getting past all the guards with a limp and sneaking in here to start a fire? If he was nimble enough to do that, then he must have been able to get out of here after starting the fire, right?
Dia.
I'm sorry. I know it's just wishful thinking. Let's look around. Maybe we can find something that's been left behind.
Is this a cane? It must be the one that Dia's father used.
Kusela.
Thanks for everything, boss.
We're fortunate to somehow find that cane after that fire.
Let's split up and look around some more. What if something else has been left behind?
But what else could survive a fire like that?
Huh? Thought so.
Wait! Isn't that the toy sword you played with as a child?
The dragon is no more, for Princess Dia has slain it. Its head now hangs above the city gates. Her bravery has brought eternal peace and prosperity to us all. Dia, come on. This is the most important line.
You can do it.
Dia, you defeated the dragon. Everyone's waiting for your speech. Still too shy, huh? All right, I'll do it. I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more.
Yeah!
I hereby proclaim our victory. Evil shall plague us no more, Dad. What's this?
Don't you remember? You asked Paimon what she would do if she were to wake up tomorrow with loads of money. And Paimon said that she would get boatloads of tasty snacks. You looked super confused at the time, but said it was an adorable thing to say. These opportunities don't come by often. So today, Paimon's gonna treat you to a special crash course on Paimon's life philosophy. Hey, this way you get something from the both of us for the price of one. Anyway, the point is that you should eat to your heart's content. You'll feel better for sure once you've gotten something in your tummy. Dunyarzad will also be here shortly. She's already heard that we're back.
Aw, thanks, you two. Honestly, this is very unlike me. I just had a lot on my mind on our way back, so I didn't know what to say. My chest was filled with all kinds of intense emotions. They just shook me even more than all the feelings we've shared during our previous adventures. But when everything came to an end, those emotions also vanished without a trace, and I was left feeling more empty than ever before. It was as if I'd lost the thing that was most important to me. Yeah, you're right. To many mercenaries, Mora is the most important thing in the world. But perhaps to us, it's the most worthless thing of all. Idrisi and the others all used to say that they would quit if there was no Mora to be had. But when it came to avenging my father, there was no Mora to be made anywhere. My reality shattered when I found out that the father who always told me hero stories was in fact a bad guy. But look at me now. Am I any different? Despite all my promises about never forgiving him and never trying to understand him, I still went to such lengths to find out the truth and nearly even shed tears for his sake. We're hypocrites, all of us. Yeah, you're right. It's just a pity that we often only recognize our true feelings after it's already too late.
You're back! Are all of you all right?
Ah, there she is!
Yeah. Many people from the Corps of 30 came over, and I just wrapped up everything with my dad. All I can do now is wait for their verdict. Huh? Dia, you're looking quite down again.
Paimon will explain. A lot happened while we were gone.
I'm sorry. I really should have controlled my emotions better. I just...
It's all right, my lady. You were hurt by all of this as well. Truth be told, I'm starting to feel a little guilty watching you cry like this.
Dia, your pain must be even worse. You shouldn't need to comfort me.
Hey, don't worry about me. If anything, this whole thing has finally shown me the difference between illusion and reality. My father probably thought that people could settle into new lives as long as they moved to a new environment. That thought has even crossed my mind a few times. It's like saying, what's wrong with adapting to a new life? However, there was always something deep within my mind that refused to accept it. This impulse brought me great turmoil, and even made me feel ashamed for turning my back on your father's kindness. But now that I consider it again, it all makes sense. The desert sands are a part of who I am, and I will never be able to lead a peaceful existence.
I understand how you feel.
That doesn't mean I won't be making any changes to my life, though. As an example, I'm now thinking about taking on some small odd jobs. It's just like Idrisi said. I also want to catch up to my father and become a character in his play. Even if the ending of the story may be childish and ridiculous, it won't really matter.
Isn't that neat, though? Oh, you'll be a whole new kind of mercenary, one that's not out for Mora. Why don't we go for a change of scenery once we finish eating? What about stopping by the Grand Bazaar again?
Right. You said you wanted to get a rug for your family.
We'll come along too.
I can't thank you enough for taking care of me this entire time.
Oh, this rug here is quite something. The craftsmanship is exquisite, and the fabric is also of high quality.
Ah, here you are. Finally, I found you.
Hey! Aren't you that mercenary who bit his tongue? You can still talk? Wait, are you here to take revenge on us?
What are you talking about? Do I look like I could take you all in a fight? I just came here to give you something. I'll be on my way to give myself up to the Corps after this. Once I woke up, I hurried to the Khan al-Ahmar's camp, hoping to alert them to your presence. But when I got there, I found no one except the members who were still too injured to move.
Ah, so you probably got there after us.
Yeah, they told me that they had exacted their revenge, and everyone had turned themselves in to the authorities. Even that last camp was not going to last for much longer. I had joined the cause to repay an old favor from Kusela. Now that everyone's already turned themselves in, I might as well do the same. One of the injured members gave this box to me, and told me that it contained some of the old man's last possessions. Everything left in the camp will get confiscated, so I figured I should get this to you before the Corps could get their hands on it.
Thank you.
No worries. We are all just living our own truths. There's no need to comment or judge anyone for it.
So this box contains everything that Dia's father left behind. Huh. It feels lighter than expected.
Well, back in the day, the first thing he did with any Mora was spend it on things like drinks and meat. But let's see what's inside. What's this? It's just a bunch of junk. Ugh, it kinda stinks.
Perhaps it's just been left unopened for too long.
A handwritten copy of a storybook. The paper's already yellowed, and it looks like it's about to fall apart. It was against the Academia's rules to possess books for personal use. If he was going to break that rule, he could have at least copied something useful.
That probably means this was really important to him.
Ah, and here are a few bags of children's snacks. The packaging's completely deteriorated. Maybe that's where the smell was coming from.
Did he get those for you?
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Even when I was a child, I was never a fan of these kinds of snacks. He'd always say that he got them for me, but in the end, he always ate more than I ever did. Who even leaves snacks in a box like this anyway? Isn't that just common sense? Forget it. Let me see what else is in here. A razor, some buttons, some round iron tiles, a wooden toy puppet, a wool scarf, which from the looks of it probably belonged to a woman, and a hair clip? Why are these things here?
I'm suddenly feeling a little scared.
I'm sorry, my lady, but this is just the kind of man he was. He probably saw this box as some kind of personal trash heap and dumped any and everything in there. 2 empty liquor bottles. Tell Tell me, you guys, are these the kinds of things that a normal person would leave behind?
Huh? There's something in the bottle!
Oh, you're right. All right, I got it out. It seems to be a piece of paper with some writing on it. The bottom part's all damaged from moisture, though. Let's hope the writing didn't smudge. I was suddenly seized with an urge to write a letter after finishing this bottle. I just folded it up and left it in the bottle, though. If I end up forgetting about it, it won't really matter. To Dia. It's a letter for me? It's all right. I'll just read it out. If he went to the trouble of writing a letter, there must have been some important things that he wanted to say. Or at least record down.
My condition's becoming worse and worse. Can't even walk without a cane anymore, much less go out and have fun. Guess I don't have many days left. If you're reading this letter, then I suppose I'm already long gone. You were adorable as a baby. Everyone loved you. And regardless of whether you were crying or laughing, everyone enjoyed having you in the group. But once you grew a bit older, you were no longer nearly as happy or cute. It's probably Idrisi's fault. He was never up to any good.
Can you believe this guy? He can point the finger at himself.
Anyway, back to the point. To summarize, I'm writing this so you would know not to feel sad for me, even if you end up finding out the truth. The reason being that I was never your father to begin with.
Wait, what?
Surely, he must be joking, right?
I don't know.
I was quite formidable when I was young, and 100 times cooler than some so-called flame main. Really felt like the whole world was under my feet. With just a teeny tiny bit of effort, I felt I could rule over the entire desert. But as fate would have it, I went out into the desert for a drink one day, and discovered a baby in the sands. It was you. You were just lying there, small and helpless. You were so tiny that if the wind blew for just a little while longer, you would have been buried forever. But your cries were so loud they made my head hurt. Now that I think of it, you really were a bundle of energy.
Sounds like he's serious.
I told Idrisi and the others that I had slipped up with a woman while out and about. None of them even doubted me. I'm sorry that I had to lie to them for so long, but I really had no other choice. I was their most esteemed leader, after all. It's not like I could just tell them that I suddenly wanted to play at being a father. At this rate, I'll puke up all the liquor I just drank from this bottle. Anyway, Dia, you possess the kind of freedom and kindness that we could only dream of. As far as how you should live your life, that'll be up to you to decide.
That's the end of the letter. In the end, he was still thinking of me as a little child. I suppose, or I would have suffocated under the sand a long time ago.
He was a good father to you. The fact that he wasn't a blood relative doesn't change that.
Yeah. It's just a pity that we had to learn the truth of everything like this.
Do you already have some ideas about the decision that he wanted you to make?
I do. If he first found me alone in the sands, then I want to try my hand at finding the person who abandoned me. I just have one wish. To tell them a story. That there once existed a childish and foolish jerk with a heart of gold. And that only under his care was I able to grow and mature into the person I am today.
If you end up finding any leads, can you share them with us? We go on adventures all the time. Maybe we'll be able to find some information for you.
Sure, I appreciate it. I wasn't expecting you to be so enthusiastic.
I'll help too.
Thank you. All of you. Thank you so much. My life has certainly had its twists and turns, but I've always considered myself lucky. Because no matter where I've gone, I've always been surrounded by incredible kindness.
Hey there! Excuse us, but is Sino at the Academia?
You two look familiar. Are you friends of Mahamatra Sino? I'm afraid he's out on a mission right now. But if you'd like, I can pass whatever message you might have on to him.
We ran into this guy by the gates, and he seems really eager to speak with Amatra. It sounds like something urgent.
Oh? If you don't mind, why don't you tell me about it first?
Siraj.
Siraj. That name sounds familiar. Isn't he a Vahumana researcher?
Vahumana researcher?
Yes, one of their most renowned, in fact. I hear he's as daring as he is intelligent. There are rumors he'll become Vahumana's next sage. But please continue, good sir. What about Siraj?
I want to report him for conducting a dangerous experiment. He kidnapped me, tied me up, and took me to that horrible cave. Experimental equipment everywhere. I ran as fast as I could, a little slower, and he would have caught me.
There's no rush. Please, take your time. What kind of experiments was he conducting? Where is this cave?
I don't remember.
Huh? You can't remember?
All I remember is Siraj walking towards me, and then my head started feeling weird. It's like a nightmare that I can't recall. I just know that that place is dangerous, and that they must be stopped. Oh, I heard they conduct business in the tavern. We have to hurry.
Even if what you say is... All right. I'll have some of my colleagues look into Siraj. But before that, I would like to administer the Matra lie detector test.
You think I'm lying?
Please don't take it the wrong way. This is just standard protocol. Sorry, but can you two wait out here a little while? We'll be back soon.
Huh? Alhaitham?
Let me bring you up to speed. First things first, Ilyas passed the lie detector test. This indicates that what he said is highly credible. As such, we've decided to launch an investigation based on the leads he provided. Per protocol, this matter was reported to Acting Grand Sage Alhaitham. After hearing about it, he left a message for Mahamatra Sino and then asked to join the investigation.
Huh. It's kinda weird for you to be working with the Matra. Is there a special reason?
You're overthinking things. My interest was piqued is all.
Really? I'm surprised you have this much free time. In that case, let's join in as well, shall we, Traveler?
It's already against protocol for Acting Grand Sage Alhaitham to participate in this investigation. As for you two... Oh, never mind. After all, you were the ones who brought Ilyas here. I'll allow you to accompany us, but you have to promise to keep everything confidential.
Don't you worry, our lips are sealed.
All right, in that case, I'll fill you in on what we know so far. Ilyas claimed that Siraj will be conducting some business with a Kasharawar researcher at the tavern. This is one of his few clear memories. It seems he stumbled upon this information while escaping. Incidentally, Siraj isn't at the Academia right now. He applied for long-term off-site research 1 month ago. It's close to the time that Ilyas had given, so we've decided to head to the tavern and investigate any suspicious persons.
That's right. Arav, prepare to head out. You two, do as you will.
Oh, come on! We already said that we're coming!
We're here, Acting Grand Sage Alhaitham. What's our next course of action? Acting Grand Sage Alhaitham?
Looks like you haven't read any memos lately. The new Academia decree clearly states that even a sage doesn't have the authority to interfere with the Matra's actions during an ongoing investigation. If your superior were here, he wouldn't be asking me what to do. Instead, he'd be telling me to stay out of the way.
You're right. Understood. Then please wait here as we lock down the perimeter and search for suspicious persons. Ilyas, please stay here. Acting Grand Sage Alhaitham, I'll have to trouble you with the protection of our primary witness.
Sure. Though I'd rather he just protect himself.
He's the same as ever, casually ignoring people just like he did back at Aru Village.
Answering a simplistic question only enables the questioner. Besides, I need him to understand my position clearly. Arav has just as many doubts about my coming along as you do. But unlike you two, he's making this matter more complicated than it is, with his considerations like the acting Grand Sage is trying to seize the Matra's powers. That question was obviously bait. The Matra were once under the influence of the sages, and so were often subject to these bureaucratic traps. The test was strictly unnecessary, though. I hope that our exchange will assure him that I won't interfere with their work this time.
Why is this so complicated?
This is why I was against becoming the acting Grand Sage from the very first. Titles and rank inevitably make a lot of things more troublesome than usual.
Excuse me, acting Grand Sage Alhaitham. I've had a question on my mind, and I need to know the answer no matter what. Have we met before?
No. I have no recollection of ever meeting you.
Haha! I thought so too. I probably wouldn't have had anything to do with someone of your caliber.
Then why did you ask?
Well, for some reason I felt a sense of familiarity when I met you for the first time.
Really? A misperception, perhaps. Or...
Acting Grand Sage Alhaitham, we've apprehended a suspect.
Siraj?
No, it's the Kasharawar researcher who has dealings with him. His name is Narendra.
Acting Sage Alhaitham? Wait, can someone please explain what's going on? I admit that I did steal some mechanical components from the lab and sell them, but does something like that really warrant the personal interest of the acting Grand Sage? What have I gotten myself into? I know I let greed get the best of me, but please, I promise that this won't ever happen again.
I would like to ask him a few questions.
Of course.
Do you know Siraj?
Yeah, that's the name of my buyer. He asked to make the transaction at the tavern, but he never showed up.
What were the details of this transaction?
He's doing some kind of experiment that seems to require many power generators and electrical components that can only be found in our project. He contacted me in private and said that he'd pay a large sum of Mora if I was willing to put some aside for him, under the pretense of them being defective parts. We had originally agreed to meet at the tavern earlier today to do the trade. I sure didn't expect to get stood up, or run into you all.
Perhaps Siraj was aware that Ilyas might leak information, so he intentionally didn't show up. Whatever the case, it seems that this lead ends here. The good news is, regardless of what Siraj was planning, his progress will now be severely hindered by a lack of power generators and electrical components. We still have time to conduct our investigation. Do you have any more questions for the suspect?
No. He's all yours. But I'd like to borrow Ilyas for a while.
Oh, that's fine. We conducted a comprehensive lie detection exam, which showed that he has a genuine case of amnesia. We're not planning to pursue any further breakthroughs on that front. However, I am curious, what do you need him for exactly?
I've read some papers regarding amnesia, and I'd like to try restoring his memories.
I see. We'll be returning to the Academia then. I'll leave Ilyas in your care.
Follow me.
didn't show up at the tavern, and Narendra didn't give us any leads. Ugh, that means we're stuck. Oh, Hatham, are you serious about seeing things through? Paimon's pretty surprised that you're this interested in the case.
I thought you would have guessed the reason by now.
Huh? Paimon has no clue. Hey, do you know?
Yes, we were classmates.
Oh, so that's why you asked to come along when Arav briefed you on the situation. So you're not here because you're interested in the case itself, but because you know the suspect?
You couldn't be further from the truth, but I wasn't expecting much from you to begin with. For the time being, all you need to know is that we were once classmates. I became the scribe afterwards while he continued his academic endeavors. He submitted a thesis 1 year ago, and the Grand Sage at the time asked for my opinion. I did not approve of it because it committed one of the 6 cardinal sins by touching upon human evolution. From violating matters regarding human evolution to attempting the forbidden and fearing none, the 6 cardinal sins are the origin of all evil in this world. They are also what the sages use as a reference when formulating or amending the rules of the academia. My opinion was that Suraj's research was both overly naive and in violation of various core principles. The Grand Sage took some of my suggestions on board and ultimately decided to reject the application.
So that's why he's buying energy sources and electrical components.
He's most likely trying to circumvent the rules and conduct his experiment in secret.
That sounds super suspicious. Oh, we gotta stop him. Ilyas, can you try to remember things again? Maybe something new will pop up.
I'm sorry, but I've already tried many times. And no matter how hard I try, it feels like everything in my mind is shrouded in a thick mist.
It is possible for a person to subconsciously forget some of their memories as a defense mechanism against extreme stress. However, these memories aren't truly lost, but merely sealed away. They can be restored with the appropriate stimulus. Now, try to recall things you care about. They don't need to be related to this case.
Well, actually, I feel like I've forgotten more than just the memories of the time I was kidnapped and experimented on. The kind of person I am, the things I've done, I can remember some things, but I can't recall some others no matter how hard I try. But I do vaguely remember that there are 2 things that I have to do no matter what.
Do tell.
The first is to get my paycheck from the academia and give it to my younger sister in Gandharvaville. I'm not sure about the details, but it seems that I would send money to my younger sister every month to pay for family expenses.
And the second thing? What's the second thing?
I can't remember. Sorry, there's just so much I can't recall.
Not unexpected. However, you're the only one who has seen Suraj and knows the exact location of his cave at present. As such, we'll do everything we can to help you regain your memories.
Losing your memories must be really painful. But don't you worry, we'll help you get them all back.
Oh, thank you so much. This feeling, it's more than just pain. I don't know how to describe it. I have so few memories that I don't even have a clear idea of who I am. And my head's always ringing. It feels like I could faint at any moment. But amidst all that, it also feels like I've been set free somehow. Nevertheless, I have you all to thank for bringing me what clarity I do have right now. Now, I do remember that I worked part-time at a place in the academia called the Research Preparation Center. That's also where I got my monthly paycheck.
I see. In that case, let's go and find whoever's in charge there.
A moment, if you would. Are you two the famous Traveler and Paimon by any chance?
We sure are! And who are you?
My name is Wikas, a member of the Academia Extravaganza Planning Committee. Have you two heard of this festival?
Yep, and that's exactly why we're here.
Is that so? Looks like our advertising is working. Since you're both interested, would you mind if I gave you a brief explanation of the event? So, the Academia Extravaganza is a grand event run by the Academia with a long and storied history. To be precise, it can be divided into the Wisdom Gala and the Inter-Darshan Championship. The gala is held annually. During this time, all 6 Darshans will set up booths throughout the city and host guests to showcase the most fascinating aspects of their school, and thus increase their influence. On the other hand, the championship is held once every 4 years. Each Darshan will send a representative to vie for the position of Grand Champion. This year, the gala is being held alongside the championship, so the mood in the city is, as they say, at an unprecedented fever pitch.
Got it! Cool! Thanks a bunch for the detailed explanation!
You're most welcome. Answering questions regarding the Academia Extravaganza is my job. And I actually do have something I would like to ask the two of you.
Huh? Need our help with something?
Well, let me begin by saying that this year's Academia Extravaganza is of utmost importance to us. Lesser Lord Kusanali and the sages came up with a plan for the Academia to recruit talented people from the desert starting next year. As such, we've invited a great number of desert dwellers to take part in this festival, so they can hopefully experience the Academia's atmosphere ahead of time. I've heard that the two of you are famous across both the rainforest and desert. With your participation, especially in the Inter-Darshan Championship, more people will definitely come to appreciate the festival.
Exactly! Or do you mean you want us to join a Darshan? But then we would have to deal with exams and essays and stuff like that.
No need to worry. The championship participants have already been selected. I mean to invite the two of you as guest commentators. Your job will be to observe and record every part of the competition. There's no pressure. Just follow each match and enjoy the festival. Aside from that, we'll also prepare some compensation for your efforts. We won't have you working for free.
That kinda sounds like a sweet deal. What do you think?
Yes, 2 others in fact. Their responsibilities will be somewhat different from yours. One of our organizers will explain the details to you later at the main venue. So, how about it? Would you like to take this commission?
Wow! Having fun while getting paid? This sounds awesome!
The main event venue is at the outskirts of the Citadel of Regzar, and the organizer you're looking for is Karina. Tell her the situation and she'll get you set up. The championship is going to begin soon. I wish you a good experience serving as commentators. If you have any doubts, come find me anytime.
Alrighty, off we go!
Welcome, one and all, to the Academia Extravaganza! Now then, allow me to reveal the prizes for this iteration of the Inter-Darshan Championship. Fabulous monetary rewards, research funds, a limited edition Genius Invocation TCG card, and the right to wear the Diadem of Knowledge. I believe that I need not elaborate as to how this is a symbol of great honor.
She should be Karina, right? Looks like she's in the middle of something. Let's wait till she's less busy, then go introduce ourselves.
The Diadem of Knowledge. What a perfect work of art.
Every time I see it, I feel like I'm losing myself in its beauty. The one who proves fit to wear it must be a rare genius indeed.
I believe that most of you have already seen the Diadem of Knowledge or have heard tales about it. 20 years ago, a researcher named Sachin bought it for a large sum of mora before donating it to the Academia. The generous championship prizes are also sourced from his sponsorship. Before we begin, allow me to express our gratitude to this researcher, who cannot be with us right now.
Things can only get worse. Things can only go from bad to worse. Human nature begets conflict, and conflict begets ruin. From the beginning, the seeds of wickedness have been.
Hey, stop spacing out! Paimon called out to you, but you didn't respond. You okay? Did you stay up late without telling Paimon?
All right. I'm sure we're all more than ready for the championship to begin. Now then, let's invite our 6 Darshan representatives to the stage. Our contestants are... representing Amorta, Tainari! Representing Spontamod, Sino! Representing Ratawahist, Layla! Representing Haravatat, Farazan! Representing Kasharawar, Kaveh! And for Vahumana... Huh? Is Vahumana's representative not here yet?
These introductions are pointless. Let's just get this over with.
Wait a sec. Why is he Vahumana's representative?
Finally, our final contestant is Vahumana's representative, Hat Guy!
Oh, so that's Hat Guy. I think I've seen him before.
You know who he is?
I've heard that he's a researcher from a different country who nominally belongs to Vahumana. Word is that he's written a lot of political analyses. His manner of speech hasn't made him popular amongst most other Vahumana researchers, but his comings and goings are quite irregular, so he doesn't interact with others much.
Aside from his more controversial aspects, his perspectives are considered quite incisive. Vahumana has seen a dearth of new talent lately, and some of its existing ones are not currently at the Academia, so I suspect he might have been their only option.
It's just kinda weird. He doesn't seem like the kind of guy who'd participate in competitions like this one.
Now that we have our 6 contestants, the championship will soon begin. Who will triumph this time around? Hold on to your hats, because we're all on this ride together.
Huh. We really do know a lot of the contestants. Oh, right! We're guest commentators, aren't we? So figuring out everyone's reasons for participating is in our job description. Let's go ask them when we go say hi. Especially him. Paimon still thinks it's weird that he's here.
We meet again, you two.
Hey, Tainari! We came here to check out this extravaganza event, and then they invited us to be guest commentators.
Is that so? I heard that there would be guest commentators recording the proceedings with cameras, but I didn't expect they'd be you two.
It's a pleasant surprise that you're visiting Sumeru again while I'm still on leave. When everything comes together perfectly like this, I call it the biryani factor. Because it's always rice to meet stew again.
Ugh. So, Tainari, you're representing Amurta, and Sino is representing Spontamod. But haven't you both already graduated? Can alumni also take part in a competition?
I had wondered the same thing. When I was told the news, I was actually more shocked than you are now. I later found out that anyone who has been a part of a particular darshan has the right to participate. Graduation status has no effect.
So that's a rule, huh?
There are some restrictions, though. For example, sages cannot participate. Any given person can only participate in one instance of the championship, and so on.
That's right. Also, there are two methods by which the Darshan representatives are chosen. One is self-nomination, and the other is to be recommended by over half of one's Darshan.
You must have been a case of the latter, Tainari.
I heard that quite a few of your juniors petitioned for your candidacy.
Sometimes I wish I could clap a few of them over the head and tell them to spend that time on studying instead. Well, you can, but after some consideration, I realize this could be a good opportunity for me. Next month, we're having a public lecture on ecology at Gandharvaville. If I participate in this event, I might be able to utilize its popularity to promote the lecture. I'm not that concerned about becoming the champion, unlike someone here.
Yes, I'm using the last of my leave for this. When I heard that a limited edition Genius Invocation TCG card was one of the prizes, I signed myself up. This year's card is a rare one indeed. It would be a shame if I missed out on it.
Wait, is it some kind of super powerful card?
No, it's a very common one. But it has a holographic layer.
So what's the point?
It's very cool.
Paimon meant apart from being very cool.
That is reason enough. I shall do my all to emerge victorious and add it to my deck.
As someone who doesn't play cards much, I can't quite relate. But it isn't surprising that everyone has their own reasons for taking part in the tournament.
Fair enough. Alright, let's go find someone else to question. Kaveh! Faruzan! Layla!
Huh? Oh, it's you. Why are you here?
Especially invited guest commentators. Our job is to record what happens during the competition.
Is that so? In that case, I'll have to trouble you to catch the moment of my triumph on camera. Remember to shoot from behind at a lower angle. You know, to capture a seniors class.
Don't get ahead of yourself now. Victory will obviously be mine.
You're far too young to even consider challenging me. Kasharawar or Ratawahist, you're all children as far as I'm concerned.
Actually, I was going to ask, how do you know me, Madame Faruzan?
Huh? You don't remember? I sometimes see you in the library at night. You even waved at me.
What? I don't remember doing that at all.
Huh. How strange. However, this is not the time for curiosity. I am Faruzan, a household name in Haravatat. You are Layla from Ratawahist, I presume?
Yes.
Good. Then we are officially introduced. See? Simple as that. I like respectful ones, by the way. Would you like to join my research group?
Madame Faruzan, I'm quite sure this counts as poaching. Let's dial things down.
I know, but it's been tough getting people these days. And research funding has been hard to secure. But once I win this tournament, it'll be a different story.
So you're just here to increase the amount of funding you're getting?
Well, not just that. What, are you curious about my reasons for participating in this event? Well, I suppose that's to be expected. You are our guest commentators after all. There's been an influx of newly enrolled students, and they'll be paying close attention to this competition. If I do win, I'm certain that there will be no lack of students knocking upon my door. Moreover, research resources will be made available to the victor, so that will nix my funding issues. Therefore, my two juniors, I do apologize, but I fully intend to emerge triumphant.
I'll do my best as well. At least I don't plan to lose too badly.
So, why are you here, Layla?
I don't know why, but a lot of people recommended me. I didn't sign up myself. I just woke up to find my name on the announcement board.
That sounds like what happened to Dainari.
Him too? Oh, I'm really nervous. I've been so worried about disappointing everyone that I've been losing sleep.
Stress not, young one. We must all experience failure to grow and mature.
But Madame Farzan, I don't want to fail.
Seriously? Everyone has such nice reasons for joining. Must I say?
Yes, you do! We gotta record it!
Well, you know, right? I want to buy some property.
Oh, that's right! You want to move out of Alhatham's.
What? Alhaitham? What about him? This has nothing to do with him.
Oh, right. Sorry, Paimon has no idea what she was talking about. So, you want to use the grand prize to buy a place, right?
Correct. Also, my father took part in the Inter-Darshan Championship when I was young, but he didn't win. Once I do, the right to wear that diadem will be mine. In a way, I'll be helping my father fulfill a dream of his.
That's not a bad reason at all. You have ambition, youngster. Although your chances with me here aren't great, I believe your father would be most proud if the diadem of knowledge were bestowed upon you.
Not that he'll have the chance to celebrate. My father passed away many years ago. They say he ran into quicksand while traveling in the desert.
For you to have experienced such a thing, that must have been tough for you.
It's all in the past now, and life goes on, doesn't it? Let's change topics. I don't want to bring the mood down.
All right. Earlier, you said that you want to use the prize Mora to purchase a home. Where do you live now? Do you live alone?
Well...
I also heard you mention Alhaitham just a moment ago. Isn't he also from Haravatat? Are you two hiding something from me?
No, of course not! Why would you think that?
Paimon's definitely not involved either! We're gonna go interview other contestants now. Bye! So... What are you...
Just call me Hat Guy. That's the name I use in Vahumana.
That sounds like a nickname, not a real name.
So I can't go by a simple, ordinary name?
Fine, suit yourself. Alright then, Hat Guy. Why are you taking part in the Inter-Darshan Championship? We're specially invited guest commentators, so play nice and answer our questions.
You could be Matra for all I care. So what if I don't answer you? What then? I'll tell you this much. I have an agreement with someone not to reveal my motives.
You're not plotting something in secret, are you?
Well, it's hard to say. Why don't you take a guess?
Ugh, Paimon's had it with you. Fine, be that way. Then we won't ask you why you're participating. Instead, why did you join Vahumana?
You two sure like to poke your noses where they don't belong. If I don't say anything, Are you going to annoy me to death? I heard that the Vahumana researcher named Akaba was researching the Tatarasuna incident, so I wrote a few essays to refute his points. Later, when I was bored, I wrote some commentary on societal issues in Inazuma. I didn't expect Vahumana to consider me as one of them. Someone even invited me to a lecture or whatever. From start to finish, it was just the wishful thinking of idiots. A misunderstanding. There's your answer. Simple. But when Lesser Lord Kusanali heard about this, she went out of her way to get me registered in Vahumana. She used the name Hat Guy. Enough chit-chat. You're better off wasting your time with the other contestants. Someone's about to get very unlucky. Wanna guess who?
How is anyone supposed to relax with you around? We've gotta stay alert and keep a close eye on him.
You must be the guest commentators Vikas invited. I've heard about you. I saw you two having quite the lively conversation, so I thought it would be best to wait. Are you two free right now?
We were actually looking for you, too!
Excellent! Then please allow me to explain your job responsibilities in detail. First, please take these two things. The first item is a custom camera from the Academia. Please use it to record the competition as it unfolds. The second is an event-specific locator that will flag all participants' locations. It will also sound when one of them completes an objective.
Wow! What a convenient little thing!
Aside from you two, there are two other commentators. However, they will remain by the commentators area and will not be following the contestants in real time. Speaking of which, you probably know them. Alhaitham and Nilu.
Oh, it's them! We have to go over and say hi later.
Well, don't let me keep you, unless you have any questions for me. Why do you ask? Really? I didn't see any such person. Could I ask when you saw him? Strange. I was on stage the entire time, and I didn't see anyone come up.
Paimon didn't see anyone either.
Perhaps you're mistaken. However, if you have any leads on that matter, you can talk to me at any time.
Hey, Traveler. Paimon. Long time no see.
Dia! Candace! You two are here as well!
Ah, so they're two friends of yours. In that case, I'll take my leave. May you all have a wonderful time during the extravaganza.
The Academia sent us both invitations, so Dia suggested that we come together. The villagers were also encouraging me to travel outside the village. I couldn't find it in myself to turn them down.
We're here now, so no point dwelling on that. Even though this extravaganza isn't a holiday or anything, it's still a big deal here in Sumeru. Merchants from all over will set up shop. There'll be tons of stuff to eat, use, and wear, more than you can count. I'm already set on helping you buy 2 new outfits. I mean, who wears the same thing at work and home anyway?
I'm looking forward to it. Just being able to relax and wander the streets freely has already made my day.
So, Traveler, Paimon, you two want to come with?
We'd love to, but we've got work to do right now.
Aw, that's a shame. Let's hang out together when you're free then.
Sure!
In that case, Candace and I'll head out first. Good clothing and fabrics are very much in demand. If you snooze, you lose. Oh, right. We should also get some accessories.
No need to rush. I think we'll have a better time if we take things slow. See you two later. Feel free to come find us whenever you have the time.
Paimon didn't think that Candace and Dia would come. Hanging out with them sounds like a great time. Still, looks like the competition's starting soon. Let's go over to where Al-Haytham is and see what's going on.
I will now announce the rules for the first round of the competition. Please listen carefully. During the opening ceremony, Academia staff released several cages of butterflies, and many of them are now fluttering within Sumeru City. Amongst these butterflies, 3 of them will be special swift flies. They have a different appearance and also fly a little faster. Your objective this round is to find a swift fly and bring it to me. 3 points will be awarded to the first participant to return, 2 to the second, and 1 point to the third. That is all for the first round. Should you require clarification on anything, please ask any of the other staff.
Al-Haytham's all business all the time, huh? That said, how did he get picked to be a commentator? Paimon's kinda curious.
Finding 3 specific butterflies in a place as large as Sumeru City sounds rather improbable.
If these swift flies behave anything like regular butterflies...
I'm off. It will take some time to search every corner of Sumeru City.
Huh? You're going just like that?
A champion walks the road to victory.
My dear Kasharawar Jr., I have a plan. How about some cooperation between you and me?
Cooperation?
Looks like everyone's got their own plans for this, Tuffy. We're supposed to go on stage next, right? Let's wait and see everyone's reactions first. Huh? Wait a minute. Look, he seems to be observing the other contestants just like we are. We were right not to let our guard down.
Do you remember those things we made previously?
Huh? You mean...
It's time for them to shine.
It looks like Faruzan and Kaveh have some secret plan.
Oh, hello there. Madame Faruzan and I are discussing how...
Shh! Hush now! The walls have ears around here. We should keep it a secret for now, but you'll find out what we have in store soon enough. Come now, let's go. Before the others act.
All right, there's no time to lose. We're off to make our preparations. See you later.
This is basically what I'll need. Do you think you'll have any difficulties?
I have most of the reagents with me, and I can buy the rest.
Kale, you're here too! Kainari, you have a master plan ready?
My hypothesis is that the swift fly's morphological variations won't significantly affect their fundamental nature. So I'm planning on using this to lure them out. Of course, I could be wrong. Every mutation opens the door to new possibilities, especially when they are artificially introduced. Details will have to wait until after the post-experimental analysis. For now, Kale and I are going to buy some reagents for our experiment. All right, well, see you later.
Okay, see ya! Hey, Layla! You look a little worried.
Yeah, I have no idea what I should do. What color are these swift flies? Do they have special markings? How do they differ from ordinary butterflies? I can't even figure out these basic questions, and most of what I've learned in the past is completely useless here.
Aren't people who research the stars supposed to have some extraordinary abilities? Why not use astrology to solve it?
Oh, you're another contestant. That guy, was it?
Is it that you can't use astrology during the day? Guess that skill's less useful than I thought.
No, it's not like that. If it's daytime, all I need is an astrolabe.
So, why don't you do that then?
Mona Magistus, the astrologist, said that those who constantly use astrology to obtain things that shouldn't be theirs will eventually lose the blessing from the stars. It's just something I read in an academic publication. I really love to read Mona's essays.
You're overthinking it. Power is just a tool. It just seems to me that you don't have the resolve to win this. Well, suit yourself. Wallow in your immature ideals if you like.
Hey! Seriously? Just walking off after saying a bunch of mean stuff like that?
Did I say something wrong just now? Thank you so much. I've made up my mind not to use astrology for this. I think I'll just try my luck in the city. To be honest, I've always been pretty good at observation, and if I'm fortunate, I might be able to find that special butterfly species.
Lord Sino seems to have found a swiftfly. Come on, let's go check it out.
Really? Where?
The butterfly flew up high, and he's chasing it now.
Oh, no time to lose. Let's go see.
As expected of Sino. Actually, shouldn't you two go have a look as well? The moment when he catches the butterfly will likely be one worth recording after all. I'll head into the city shortly to start my own search. I'll see you later.
Alright, in that case, let's go see Sino first, and then we can check on what everyone else is up to. Sino? Oh, wait, is that a swiftfly?
Stay put. Don't move.
He caught it! Huh? Sino, what's wrong?
This isn't what I'm looking for. It's a...
Finally, I made it. I heard that you caught a swiftfly, Sino. Mind letting me see what it looks like? Hold on. Isn't this the mechanical bait that I released earlier? Why would you catch that instead of a swiftfly?
Wait a minute. If we consider this from a different angle, isn't it a good thing that the bait you made was convincing enough to fool even Sino?
That's right. During a previous interior design project, I felt that the artificial flowers on a wall were a little bland, so I decided on placing a few moving mechanical butterflies to add some pizzazz. In order to make them both small and nimble, I consulted with Madame Faruzan. Not long ago, the two of us took all those mechanical butterflies and released them into the city.
Why would you do that?
Need you even ask? Young people these days really do need to get out more. Have you never played that game where you place strips of paper on a bamboo pole and wave it across a field of flowers to attract a whole kaleidoscope of butterflies?
No, I haven't. Wait, so you're trying to...
That's right. The butterflies within the city will mistake our mechanical bait for one of their own and follow them around. As long as we keep releasing and retrieving our bait, we can capture all the butterflies within the city. What comes afterward is just a matter of separating the swiftflies from the others.
Huh. Guess that's one way to do it.
Do not underestimate the wisdom of your elders. I had already thought of this method the moment the round's rules were announced. Of course, we also owe much to this fine junior of mine here for making such lifelike butterflies. It seems that Kasharawar has not quite declined as far as I had thought in recent years. Their teaching skills at least seem to be intact.
Well, I just stuck to what I do best. The idea was yours.
No need to be so polite. Once we capture all these butterflies, we shall split the points for this round. Look, one of them is returning now. Huh? Wait a moment. Are my eyes deceiving me? Why don't I see any butterflies behind it?
That's because there are none. Seems like your plan has hit a snag.
Looks like the match continues. I'll be looking elsewhere.
Huh. Strange. Has something else diverted their attention? Come, let's search in the direction the bait returned from.
We'll go have a look too. Kaveh, why did you two stop?
Ah. So it was the Morta boy.
Tainari!
Fascinating, isn't it? The butterflies have all congregated here due to a special incense that I used. I infused it with 3 different types of honey, and the butterflies, following the fragrance, have gathered around me.
Oh, butterflies must have really sharp noses then. Wait, do they even have noses? I've never seen one.
They do not, in fact, and their vision isn't stellar either. However, they can use their antennae to distinguish between scents, and their olfactory senses are generally quite advanced, allowing them to detect floral fragrances from great distances.
Oh, so that's how it is. I had a pet butterfly once. I picked wildflowers and placed them in its box, but it wouldn't eat any.
That's normal. Raising butterflies isn't difficult, but there are many things you should take note of. Appropriate temperature, sufficient air, and a spacious environment are examples of such considerations. You must also ensure that the food you've chosen suits their palate. Most importantly, you must curb your curiosity and avoid disturbing them while they rest. Otherwise, they may become stressed.
Sorry. I liked to poke at its wings at the time.
Humans tend to rear many creatures due to their aesthetic value, but not all are suited to such a process. Caring for living beings is hard work. Impulse alone is insufficient. Some prerequisite knowledge is always required.
You sure do know a lot.
I have a question too. I bought a scarab not long ago and it hasn't seemed very active. Can you help me figure out why?
I'd like to keep a dustbird as a pet. What are some key points I should consider?
Is it possible to keep a Rishbalin tiger as a pet?
All right, it seems like you all have a great deal of questions. But I am in the middle of the Inter-Darshan Championship at the moment, so I'm afraid I can't answer them all now. Let me propose an alternative. Next month, there will be a biology lecture at Gandharvaville, and I will be sharing some interesting insights on living organisms there. If you're interested, you can attend that lecture, and if you should have any questions, just prepare them ahead of time. I'll answer questions after I finish speaking.
All right, I'll be there.
Of course, please try to ask more rational questions. For example, whether you can raise a Rishbalin tiger as a pet or not is mainly dependent on whether you can overcome one in a fight.
Looks like Tainari's science lecture will draw quite a crowd.
Huh? Oh. Was I listening in for that long? Seems Kale's master does live up to his title as a teacher.
Madame Faruzan, I've had a look around. Nearly all the butterflies in this area have been attracted by the incense. However, we can cast our bait further away to avoid this area.
All right, then let's get moving. We shan't let all the butterflies get away from us if we can help it.
Seems like the competition's really heating up. Let's go see how the other contestants are doing. Layla, how are things going on your end?
I've been searching for quite a while now, but I haven't seen any sign of the swiftflies yet. Instead, I ended up catching a few mechanical devices that looked very similar to butterflies. I wonder where they came from.
Looks like Faruzan and Kaveh's devices are everywhere now.
I'll keep up the search. That said, I've noticed that a number of butterflies in the city has already decreased a lot compared to when the event started. Probably because the other contestants are coming up with their own ways to catch butterflies. Alright, I'll do my best too. Huh?
What's this?
Oh, what What a coincidence. I guess I just need to catch it now, right? Oh, please wait. Aw, there it goes.
It's so fast! Paimon thought all Hatham said they were only a little faster.
No, come back!
Come on, Traveler, let's go too!
It just occurred to me that we should also get you a makeup box.
No, it's fine. I don't think I'll end up using it.
Maybe you won't, but it doesn't hurt to have one, right? Come on, just trust me on this one. Huh? Who are you, and what do you want?
Please, don't move.
Don't move? Who sent you?
Dia.
Don't worry, I can handle this. Now, tell me, what do you want?
I believe she's looking for this. Here, take it.
A butterfly? Was it on my head?
Oh, you're...
It's been a while, Layla.
A friend of yours? Oh, so she must be the one you were telling me about.
Huh? You two know each other?
Oh yeah, it has been some time. The first time I ever woke up after sleepwalking, I somehow found myself in Aru village. Candace was the one who took care of me then.
That's right. She didn't look well, so I gave her something to eat. She said a lot of complicated things about astrology, the night sky, the stars. Not sure I understood it all, but it sounded pretty enchanting. Right. Do you still want this butterfly? It seems like you were chasing it all the way here. It's of little use to me, but if you don't want it, I can release it.
Just let her have it. It's no big deal.
The Swiftfly was flying so fast, but you were able to catch it like it was nothing, Candace.
Oh, it didn't seem that quick, really. I was actually worried that I would injure it. But I'm glad that didn't happen.
Anyway, sorry about the butterfly thing. With the way you suddenly came running over like that, I thought you were hired to take us out or something. Huh. On second thought, I guess I've never seen an assassin that looks tired with dark bags around their eyes. Oh, you must be taking part in the championship. Take it from me. Don't let it stop you from getting some rest.
I'll do what I can. Thank you.
We'll be on our way then. See you later.
Alrighty, let's bring the Swiftfly back together with Layla.
Contestant who has returned with a Swiftfly. With that, the first round has come to an end. I anticipate that all of you will keep up the effort for the second round. Dismissed.
Your closing statement sounded so... how do I put it? Decisive?
Well, you could certainly stand to try being more decisive, Nilu. It would help you live more freely.
Hang on a second. Who were the first two contestants with Swiftflies?
Tighnari was first, and as for the second, it's being discussed right now.
Hey, Alhaitham, I think I've come up with a good idea. Second place gets 2 points, right? Can't Madame Faruzan and I split the points between us?
Quite the imagination you have there. I've read the championship handbook from cover to cover, and I never saw any rule which permits that.
Then we can just add a rule.
Do you really think I'd do that?
Oh, come on, you're not going to stand in the way of my victory, are you?
Well, you're free to send the organizing committee an application outlining your naive proposal. They'll get back to you within 3 working days.
3 working days? It'll be too late by then.
Unfortunately for you, Even dreaming is gonna cost you.
Ah, Paimon gets it now. Kaveh and Faruzan found the second Swiftfly together, but the rules say that only one person can get the points.
Oh well, the rules are the rules. Since you call me madam and politely ask for my help, I shall give you these points.
So I'll put the points under Kaveh's name then?
No. If I take these points, won't that only detract from your contributions, Madame Faruzan? You might be alright with that, but I cannot do it. Not in good conscience.
I don't have any problem with it. There are 2 more rounds after all. Losing one isn't a major setback. But if you insist, I have another method. We can draw lots to see who will receive the points.
Lots, huh?
What? Is there something wrong with that idea?
No. Well, let's do it.
All right. I'll get the paper needed for the lots. Give me a moment.
Oh, seriously?
I'm sorry, but it appears that luck was on my side this time.
No, you do deserve it. I'm just lamenting my bad luck. Perhaps that's why my life is rife with troubles.
Indeed. It's rare to see anyone with such terrible luck be so willing to decide victory via lots.
And what would you know about that?
We can save bickering for later. Record the points under Faruzan, and that'll finally bring the first round to a close. The second round will be held in the desert. We'll be moving our commentator stand over to Aru Village. Let's meet up in Aru Village once everything is ready. I'll announce the details of the second round then. Till then, you have some free time. I'm off the clock at this point, so it's farewell for now.
Wait, I'll hate them! You...
Don't be upset, Kaveh. Sighing can carry away your good luck, you know.
Oh, so that's how it works. In that case, I'll take in some deep breaths. Maybe that'll help me make up for all the luck I've lost. It's really no big deal. 2 points aren't enough to decide victory or defeat just yet. I'll win the next round, you'll see.
Looks like you've managed to pick yourself back up, young man. Good. I must warn you, though, that I'm quite familiar with the desert. You'll have to try your best if you don't want to lose.
I'm no stranger to the desert either. I'll be fine. All right then, that's enough chit-chat for now. I'm going to check the area out.
So the current standings are Tainari in first place, Faruzan in second, and Layla in third. Guess we should also take a nice break before the next round starts. But where should we go first?
Why, you two look a little lost. If you're not sure where to start enjoying the Academia Extravaganza, then may I suggest that you have a chat with our boss?
Your boss? Who's that? Do we know them?
Well, only the most famous merchant in all of Sumeru, Lord Sangamo Bay.
Oh, you mean Dory!
Precisely. Our boss sent me to inform you two that she'll be waiting for you at Sumeru City's North Gate.
Oh, well, if it isn't the Traveler in Paimon.
Hey, Dory! Are you here to attend the Academia Extravaganza too?
Of course! People are practically flocking to Sumeru City. You couldn't ask for a better opportunity to do business. This is one of the entrances into the city, and it's very close to the Wisdom Gala booths. There'll be an endless stream of customers. I can already hear the Mora going clink, clink, clink as they fill my coin pouch. Well, is there anything you'd like to purchase? We've got everything you need and deals that can't be beat.
Well, do you have anything to eat?
Oh, wait, we're celebrating the extravaganza and you're only thinking of eating... I mean, of course, we've got lots of things to eat. That said, I recommend that you also consider some of the great bargains we have going on. The Wisdom Gala is about to begin, and once it starts, each of the Darshans will prepare a small challenge for everyone. And just between us, I have some super booster supplements for sale. Eat just one to boost both your strength and dexterity for a short time, allowing you to overcome any challenge.
No thanks, we'll pass. These little challenges are gonna be a cinch for the two of us. Just you watch. Anyway, Paimon just wants something to eat, please. If you don't have any food, then we'll just go somewhere else.
Alright. Mora is Mora, after all. Oh, what would you like to eat?
Well, Paimon's pretty hungry right now. Do you have any touching?
Let me see.
This is a huge job, isn't it?
If this works out, we'll be set.
Here you go. 2 servings of touching. See? I told you there's nothing Lord Sangamabe can't procure.
Yay! Huh? What are you looking at, Traveler? Oh? Who? Someone we know?
Was it someone suspicious? Have we attracted some unwanted attention?
Huh? What's happening, Dory? Is there something else going on?
I don't know who you saw just now, but I do have some hard-to-come-by information about the extravaganza. If you want to know more, we can talk business later.